And Coleman, and welcome to Smartphone Sketches, Part 7, Episode 7. Alright, so in this episode, where I am going to be drawing an owl. Alright, let's go to the pre-toned canvas. And I was noticing that part of the issue last night was that I had trouble changing the color because the controls were right over that little color wheel. So going to start by quickly drawing this out. And so the branch will come in from our right side and go out to the left side, and it's going to pass right from one side of our vantage point to another through our frame, through our perspective, or the composition. So that will be the tail, the talons. Looking at my cat, I was thinking sometimes my cat reminds me of an owl with the markings, the stare that he sometimes gives me. Sometimes he just sits there with his chest puffed up as he's watching things and studying. Probably going to revisit owls in the future. This is just a quick early sketch. And this is reminding me of a Furby a little bit. Just going to add some of the most basic tones. So how is everyone tonight? How is everyone today? Or how is everyone? Whatever time, date, month, year you're watching this. I'm doing well. Earlier I was getting my hair done and giving the hairstylist advice on her artwork as I was communicating head shape and composition, the framing of hair through Samsung Notes. She showed me some of her paintings, and I was able to see how the layering of petals that she had done for some flowers translated to the layering of hair. And I was like, this is really good. This stands out and shows a lot of talent. I wasn't familiar with a lot of the hairstyling terms. So when I was trying to communicate vision and things like gender dysphoria, some of it I was able to best communicate by drawing little diagrams, the framing of the face, and how sometimes the head shape can compensate for any dysphoria felt. Well, like the hair shape, the silhouette. Part of illustration, big part of illustration, is being able to communicate visually. And as someone on the autistic spectrum, that's always been one of big things that I found appealing about illustration. We add a little bit of darker brown to this tail. And so this is going to be very simple, very simplified sketch, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep aware of the anatomy of the owl, how the wings fold when the owl is perched, head shape, hopefully in the markings, and how the feathers fall. Yeah, we'll look at the owl will look less Furby-like. Not that there's anything wrong with the Furby design. So we'll go a little bit further, making it dark. going to continue this just so that I can define the shape of the head. Some shadow underneath the wings. In depth underneath the torso. That will give some dimension between the bird and the branches. The bird and the branch. Soften that transition a little bit at the jaw, throat. There we go. Now for the lighter feathers. So just like with the darker feathers, we're going to build our way up. And in doing so, we give shape to our bird. And then afterward, in a finer tip, little markings can be made. Let's continue building on. Minding the contours of the wings. This works. And so we'll lighten the shadow underneath the beak. So it looks more like it's hanging over lighter feathers. And we'll quickly draw the talons. Big, huge talons. First in a range of darker tones, which we then lighten to a more familiar yellow. I'm going to start working that into the beak. So just building up. I've only seen owls from a distance and in photos, so I have no first-hand experience in telling you how big these talons are. I can only imagine. And I'm going to try giving as much respect to the strength and size as I can for this cute little owl. For this character, I don't think the line work will be in black for a change. With all these browns, I'm thinking that a dark brown line work would fit in much more nicely. Not sure if that's the proper wording. I feel like it would be more fitting. Back in high school, I was told by a boss in my art job to avoid white and black in my color palette, because those colors in their rawness appear almost never in the natural world unless there are dyes. And otherwise, whatever color I was aiming to create, I'd be able to find through mixing other colors. Because the addition of the white and black it could deaden the image. Like with comics and cartoons, line is extremely important, but especially if you're going for realism, if you're doing anything that isn't manga or cartooning, anything where line work is strictly important or traditionally important, unless you are doing that, it's tricky. Because unless it's part of the theme of the color palette, I personally would advise away from going directly to just like straight out of the tube, straight out of the can, black or white. Really, and just thinking out of my taste, there are examples of it. Sorry, I'm contradicting myself. But you have to be very careful on when to use them. Just at the mention of like titanium white, Bob Ross landscapes come to mind. And I'm like, well, how else would you get that snow? Snow-capped mountains you don't want. Just lemon yellow snow as if some giant dog visited. Yeah, I went there with a joke. All right, almost done. So we're going to bring it back. Let's see what else I can do with the eyes. Try to making them look focused. This is so tricky trying to do this with the notes option. Maybe if I add more color, the bird will look less dazed. There we go. I'm going to draw some spots. And lighten that a little. There we go. And now this is already starting to look like it could be the finished version. And I'm going to try giving it a little bit of line work just so they can fit in more with the rest of my smartphone sketches. Defining just before the tail. I like how I'm able to get so much done tonight while conserving my time. That's part of what I enjoy about drawing birds. That drawing the anatomy can range from complex to simple. And the eyes. Try putting a little bit of little bit more expression into the upper eyelid. Up. So can I make that tip a little bit smaller? 2, 3. Yeah, I'm still iffy on that. Let's try 1. You know, I'm just going to leave the eyes like that. Right now, it seems that no matter how small a tip, it always looks too bulky. All right. So that is the owl for tonight. If you like this sketch, I'm going to include a link to the Redbubble page where you can buy prints of it down below in the description section. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you'd like to see more of this content. Leave any comments, suggestions for subjects for me to draw, to paint. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you and good night. Bye.